Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, September 11th. On our impact map, a strong cold front has pushed down cooler, more moist conditions where you see areas in blue enveloping most of the Great Basin with wetting rains and a continuation of the wet, cool pattern we've had for several days. Still some breezy winds and borderline critically low humidity across our far southeastern areas, but even there, they received some light precipitation in the past 24 hours. That'll all be fading, and we'll get back to a very low impact day, just recovering from all the moisture we've had. No significant concerns as we close out Thursday and Friday. Looking at precipitation and lightning, quite a bit of lightning here on the right-hand side across much of the area. The good news is on the left, it was all pretty much wet, and in some cases very wet. Areas in the yellow to orange indicate anywhere from a half inch to close to an inch of rain. Some of the heaviest downpours in northern Utah and southeast Idaho. Lesser amounts of rain, and maybe some isolated dry strikes as you head back towards the west. We had light initial attack, new fire starts in the red, existing fires in the yellow. Open circles indicate ongoing large incidents, many of which other than the neck fire, but most of them have received some precipitation. Looking at precipitation the past 7 days, quite a bit, especially across the northern half of the area. Areas in dark blue, a quarter inch or more. Areas in the green, half inch to an inch, and locally higher amounts, especially the mountains of central Idaho and western Wyoming. At this point, fuels up in those areas will probably not recover to critical levels for this coming fire season. You can see the percentage on the right-hand side well above normal, 300% of normal across parts of Idaho and western Wyoming, and even the mountains, higher terrain of north central Nevada, but still drier than normal across our southern areas. ERCs are on the rise, lots of greens and yellows on the map indicating minimal concern, but still some percentiles in the 70th to 80th percentile where you see the orange, and in these lighter fuels across southern Utah, Nevada, and the Arizona Strip, a lot of these finer fuels can bounce back pretty quick after 3 or 4 dry days. Big difference from a week ago compared to today. And showing some ERC differences up in the Uinta Wasatch Cache. You can see how much the ERCs have dropped down through here, but in our southern areas, in the Spring Mountains outside of Vegas, near record levels for this time of year. Similarly for the Arizona Strip and far southwest Utah, again above the 85th percentile. Very little rain reached that far south, so still some concerns in our southern areas. Satellite imagery this morning shows the moisture in the storm system across the eastern portion of the Great Basin, but still cool conditions, high humidity everywhere basically in the area of this trough. Weak ridge of high pressure building in, which will be some clearing for us the next few days. So for today, the upper level map shows that moisture moving on out, but still some showers popping up in eastern areas this afternoon. Fire potential minimal across the northern 2/3 of the area, but still borderline dry here in the south. You can see the relative humidities down there, single digits to low teens across southern Nevada and along the Arizona border, but significantly higher as you head further north. Some gusty winds, especially across Utah and into Idaho, but again inconsequential because of the showers and high humidity. But high pressure, a weak one, does build in. On Thursday, we dry out. Humidity levels single digits to teens, and those teens extend up to the Idaho border. On the left, winds are light. Friday, zonal flow near seasonable temperatures, but breezy and dry during the afternoon hours. Again, winds here, light during the afternoon hours, but maybe some moderate breezes up north. Look at the humidities again, single digits to low teens, so where finer fuels dominate in the southern central areas in the lower third of the terrain, things will be drying out. 3-day precipitation accumulation, most of this will be in the upcoming 24 hours. Still amounts of a quarter inch to a half inch across northern Utah and into western Wyoming, and some scattered showers still across the higher terrain of Idaho. Now further down the road into this weekend, Saturday, notice a deep low pressure system dropping down out of Alaska, more of a winter type system. We'll have to watch this one for early next week. Otherwise, drier air and some broad high pressure building in across our southern areas will start drying out slowly. See more yellow on the map here by Sunday. At the same time, this deep low pressure comes on in Now, after several days of drying, especially across areas that didn't receive much precipitation this go-around, we do have the concern for high risk coming off the Sierra front in western Nevada. Winds could be gusting over 40 miles per hour, and that concern goes into Monday as we see these winds here, high-risk winds on the right-hand side, but at the same time, moisture will be increasing, and at some point by Tuesday, we could be looking at we'll see a pretty wet pattern. These winds will be kind of strong. We'll monitor this closely, but if the moisture comes in ahead of the winds, then obviously it will be a different story. 7-day precipitation totals, and this will reflect things that will be going on day 6 and day 7. And the 8 to 14-day outlook does show cooler than normal temperatures across the northern Great Basin, otherwise near normal elsewhere, near normal to slightly wetter than normal precipitation. So for Idaho, Wyoming, those areas, nothing to suggest as we go into the third week of September that fuels will be recovering to critical levels anytime soon. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.